Says we're streaming live.
There we go. Hey, good morning, Amy Lassen. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good.
Good. I'm Charlie Bengel, CEO of RE/MAX Allegiance, and my co-host this morning is Amy Lassen from RE/MAX Properties in Colorado Springs. How's it going, Amy?
Oh, it's nice. We're having hotter than heck days, freezing cold days, windier than you anticipated when you went out to show houses. We're getting all the things.
Yeah, I saw a quick headline, not that this is a show on weather, but I saw a quick headline that Denver was 80 like 2 weeks ago, and 8 hours later it was snowing or something. But that's Colorado weather, isn't it?
And yesterday late, it was so hot. I was wearing a long sleeve shirt outside and it was way too much. So
Interesting. Okay, cool. So today we're going to be discussing how many transactions are you going to wake up to on January 1st? What will your January look like? And then we could even get into a little bit about what will 2020 look like.
Right,
So
right.
what are your introductory thoughts on the idea that, December 31st is not like a brick wall?
Sure,
Right?
exactly.
Our career will continue into January 1.
Yeah.
And the idea of having a strong pipeline and momentum into January 1 is so important with the distractions. Honestly, it's a distraction. Distractions can be positive or negative, I think.
Sure,
But
sure.
Thanksgiving is in like 5 weeks, we said. Christmas is coming up really quick. So the holidays are coming, and we want to have a strong pipeline to finish not only 2019, but then getting into 2020 and make it a great year. So talk to me about your introductory thoughts about all of that.
Well, I think there are kind of two major ways that most of us think about our time in real estate. And one is that whole concept of quarters, right?
Mm-hmm.
The organized among us are actually reviewing our profit and loss quarterly. We do have quarterly goals. We are shooting for the end of the year. We do have last quarter goals. The unorganized among us are just waking up unemployed every day and trying to figure out what to do, right?
Yeah, right.
Think of it as either way, no matter which kind of agent you are, the holidays are coming. And I think you absolutely said it right. For no matter who we are, we all see December 31st as some sort of a actual barrier, right?
Right.
It's completely artificial. So the problem is when we shoot for the barrier, that's as far as our effort extends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time to just see right through it to what are you dragging with you into January, right? How many under contracts do you want to wake up with? You want to have 4 under contract? You want to have 6 under contract? So this concept honestly occurred to me because of a story that I've shared before, but not everybody's on every call. I have a friend who came to me last year, September 24th. She said, Amy, I'm not going to hit my goal. I was like, what? I'm like thinking, wait, what day is this? What do you mean you're not going to hit your goal? And boy, we just got out the whiteboard. We did the math, and we came up with, okay, how many conversations? Who do you need to be in front of? How are you going to get in the path of the business? She made 6 very targeted phone calls that very week to the 6 most connected people she knows. And she came back with 6 referrals. Not only did she continue strong the rest of the year, she had had back surgery. She had had so many things that made her believe she was off her game and wasn't going to hit her number.
Yeah.
But she not only finished strong, she dragged 5 under contracts into January. And her first quarter was so much stronger than anyone else in her mastermind. And that really is what gave me the idea of how many are you going to wake up with, right?
Right.
So maybe that is the intro. But, we definitely want to tease this apart about, okay, yeah, we all know. Well, I get it. Now what can I do, right?
Yeah. And, and just to remind the group, we like to use the formula 40 conversations to 1 sale. So doing that math, and I'm going to plug a class that I am doing tomorrow. And I realize some people are going to be listening to this later, watching it on YouTube, right? But tomorrow, meaning tomorrow, Wednesday, the 16th of October, I'm doing a class on 8 coaching tips to finish Q4 strong and to get us into 2020. And with that will be a 90-day plan. And some of the questions are, right, how many under contract, how many people in the pipeline?
Yeah.
The group coaching that I do with Allegiance, that's a question every week. Who is in the pipeline? Because it makes us think, do I have a pipeline? And if so, we have some members of Allegiance associates that have these great pipelines, and we have others that, the pipelines are a little bit thin. And so thinking about 2020 and constantly thinking about what's in the pipeline, because like you said, we wake up every day and we, got to go find work.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have a pipeline, it's a little less stressful.
So I have a question about that. Is there is there an obvious format for the pipeline? Where does this pipeline live? And I imagine it's different for each person.
Yeah,
But
that's a good question. I ask them how many pipeline buyers and sellers that they have. In other words, people who they strongly believe are going to transact in the fairly near future,
Yep.
but are not active, in the MLS yet, or not in the car yet. If they're a buyer,
Mm-hmm.
I just keep track of it for them on a Google sheet. So they've got the number somewhere. It might be here.
Yeah.
It might be here. For some of them, it's here, right?
Okay.
I can see them thinking of the names of people that they're, going to be working with. I think a lot of us know people who want to list in the spring,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a pipeline. They know, now's not a great time. They want to wait for the spring market. They do definitely want to, upsize, downsize, move, whatever. So, having those numbers handy, I think, is important. And then, boy, we could talk all day about how do we stay in front of those people, but we're not going to do that.
Well, we might. We've got what? We got 23
lots
whole
of time
minutes
left. Yes.
So, okay, but here's, so I love that. I love that you're sharing all that could include, because I want to share that when the market crashed, and for those of you who haven't got your license since, congratulations, you don't have, PTSD like I do about real estate.
Right.
That crash was so terribly terrifying. And I remember sitting down one day and writing down, wait, who do I have coming up?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who am I forgetting anybody?
Yeah.
And I honestly wrote it on a Word document.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote. And when I was done, I had 29 names. And it blew my mind.
Wow.
That I had so many people in some phase of pick me.
Yeah.
And I maintained that document ever since, and I call it my
Mm-hmm.
visual pipeline. And I always, now CRM all day long. Yes, use a CRM.
Yes, right.
The thing of it is, of course, I schedule the reminder in my CRM. I schedule the reminder in my calendar. The problem is, if it was 29 names, if it was 12 names, waiting for the reminder, it's out of sight and out of mind, right? And when I can see the list, and here's, okay, so for my squirrely brain, I would like illustrate the document, like put a happy picture of my kids, change the font color, print it, and tape it up. Week later, change the order. So-and-so moved down, so-and-so moved up. Change the picture, change the font color, print it. Because otherwise, everything we tape up, including our whiteboard, becomes wallpaper.
It does. Yep.
You just ignore it. So for me, and I'm a very visual person, I had to refresh my visual pipeline every single week. So the wonderful thing is, it's like, oh yeah, Carol, you know what? Carol, I should just go in right now and do a manual search. I'm just going to do it.
Right.
That your CRM is not going to say, be spontaneous,
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, that's a little plug for figure it out. Put it on a whiteboard, put it on a document. Don't simply trust your CRM, and please don't trust your memory.
Well, yeah. And I think, the names matter, right? Having a number in your head of who you think, but the names matter. And for some people, creating this list is going to create comfort.
Yep.
And for some people, it's going to create discomfort because the list is not long enough, right? And maybe that discomfort will cause us to act and pick up the phone and, call our people, right? Or do an extra open house, or, get prepared. So, I like that idea. The pipeline it's so important. It's not just who we're working with now, it's who we have coming. And I'm glad that we brought that up. So talk to me more about 2020, finishing Q4 strong. How can does it make sense to figure out, when do you start, I'm going to get ahead of ourselves. When do you start planning for 2020? Because I think part of that gets into answering the question, how many deals do you want to wake up to in January?
Well, that's true. That's an excellent point. And are you talking about business planning or something else?
I think I probably am, although I know that you and I are going to be discussing that more next month. And we're going to start our business planning. I think you've started your business planning classes for your brokerage. I've not started mine yet, coming in November. But, I just think knowing a number, I want 5 deals in the pipeline and 3 under contract in January, right? To get me going where I want to be in 2020. I think having that concrete goal or number, for me, somebody who's more goal oriented, is important.
I agree. And I think you and I have such an advantage, and I hope everyone listening will come to have some of the habits and resources that Charlie and I have, that any moment, like business planning has become such a spontaneous and organic thing for me. I can rewrite my business any day. Like any moment I can just go,
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Redone, because I do it so much.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, it's a really fun part of what I do. So you're right. I do my business planning at my brokerage in October, but that took time. I think
Mm-hmm.
it seemed like December was a good idea. And then it seemed like November was a good idea.
Right.
And this year it was September, and people were like, when are you going to teach it? And I'm like, are you kidding? They're hungry. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Right. Right.
So there's really never a bad time, frankly. Do it in April. I don't care. There's never a bad time to revisit. I will tell you, I rewrite my own as things occur to me.
Mm-hmm.
So to whatever degree you do it, and I love that you shared a conversion ratio,
Yeah.
we have to be in front of people. This is what we do. Okay, sidebar. Lately, I've been saying, what is your product? I've been saying it to my friends. I've been saying it to people that I coach. What is your product?
Mm-hmm.
You sell houses, right? Do you have any houses? Oh, no, you don't actually have any houses.
Yeah.
And people, I think if they're paying attention, they say, well, I sell myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mostly true.
Right.
I really hold the bar higher on that. And I say, your product is your service. Okay.
Mm.
So what is it that you're doing to refine and improve your service and promote the outcome of
Mm-hmm.
taking advantage of that service? And if you believe in your service, how are you in the path of people who need it? Right?
Right.
So that's the conversations. I'm adding too many fancy words to go talk to people, but I really want you to get what it is you're talking to them about.
Mm-hmm.
Want to buy or sell, want to buy or sell, want to buy or sell. I mean, I think that's a little annoying.
Oh,
Right?
no, I agree.
Yeah.
And we've talked before about scripting and making the calls easier, and we may not want to go down this rabbit hole, but we always go down rabbit holes, so I guess it's fine. People really struggle with picking up the phone if they don't have a reason to call.
Yeah.
And the reason of checking in on a client, the Ford acronym of family, occupation, recreation, dreams, is not a reason. So, I think you've been an advocate. I've been an advocate of send them something and then call and ask if they got it, right?
Sure.
That's a reason to call.
Sure.
Call them about the rates. I've been all over, coaching clients and Allegiance associates about call clients about rates because they're lower than a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate related conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And our clients are not, we think about rates all the time. Our clients don't. They think
Right.
about the dog barfed. I got to get the kid off to school, right?
Right.
The husband's traveling this week. They're living life. They're not thinking, oh, I could save a couple $100 if I refinanced.
Yeah.
Right. And by having these conversations, then you learn that the wife is pregnant. The condo's not going to work anymore starting next spring. Right.
Yeah.
So it is a good springboard to having these conversations about real estate. But I'm amazed the number of people that really struggle with just picking up the phone and checking in on somebody. They're just really uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because there was a lack of rapport with the client the transaction went to quickly. I've heard that objection before from agents.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know them well enough to call them, and it's like, you sold them a house, right? You had to have known them fairly well.
Sure.
Right? And Chuck Klein, we've said before, has this great line of, hey, how's the house?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what every time I'd see him for years after
Yeah.
he sold me my condo, he would say that. So, I don't think that there's really anything wrong to say. I think, and it's just so interesting to me that so many agents they have the gift of gab. They are terrified picking up the phone. They can make friends in the checkout line at the supermarket with the stranger that they've never met before. But the person that they know to some degree, whether it's super well or fairly well, right? They know them, just terrified of the phone.
Okay, so I have a thought about that, and it's interesting that you share they feel that there wasn't enough rapport at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess because you're an analytical, maybe you coach a lot of analyticals. I'm an expressive. I coach a lot of expressives. I would say my clients have the opposite problem. There was absolute rapport. We're best friends. We're moving in together. Like, woo! It was so great. And then you never even called them to say, how's it going the week after closing?
So why?
Like, you dropped it because things got in the way.
Okay.
You got busy. And
now you're embarrassed?
It's been 3 years.
Right.
And it feels as though an agreement was broken.
Yes.
Right. So now I'm embarrassed.
An agreement that has never existed.
Correct. That's exactly what I was getting to. They didn't know you were supposed to call them afterward.
Exactly.
They don't know you broke your word.
Yep. Yeah. No, we've joked before. There's not somebody standing in the parking lot of the title company that says, psst, your agent's going to call you quarterly. They're going to invite you to a client event. You're going to get a newsletter from them, and they're going to be your best friend forever. Right? Nobody says that.
Nope.
And no, so I don't coach a lot of analyticals, by the way, because there's not that many in this industry. I coach all, I coach all sorts, but I just don't necessarily put up with the stories.
So I get that. So I have probably 4 things that I want to offer up.
Yes, let's
everyone could do, but through this next season, right? Through October, November, December, and I really don't want to treat December like the wall, right?
Yeah.
I want to say from now into January, here are my suggestions for things that you could do. And I guess I want to start with a story and then give my suggestions. So a guy in my mastermind, he told me this yesterday, that he kind of woke up to reality. I don't know where his head had been prior. He was like, I woke up and I had nothing in the pipeline. And he said, frankly, I panicked.
I'll bet he did.
He said, I just panicked. And because he had the strongest pipeline. Everybody brings their numbers, right? And his pipeline was holy guacamole. And we're like, what you been up to, dude? And he said, I panicked and I poured it on. He said, I started calling people. I went and visited my neighbors. I followed up with every single past client. I called every old lead. I'm on it. And it just absolutely worked. And the thing that was remarkable about his story is it's as though the man controls the faucet.
Right.
The rest of us are waiting for it to rain. And he was just like, psh.
Yep.
So I want everybody to get that you do control the faucet way more than you know. So keep in mind that he poured it on. And he totally, it was effort in, result out. So here are some of my suggestions. Thanksgiving is my favorite time to engage with clients in a meaningful way. I don't send credit cards. That was bizarre. Christmas cards. And that's just me. I don't send Christmas cards because a dentist that I don't even see anymore sends me a Christmas card and it feels like spam. Right. So I send Thanksgiving cards and they don't
I used to do the same thing. Actually.
Well, but it doesn't say pre-printed Happy Thanksgiving, Amy. It's actually written because guess what? It's about gratitude.
Yes.
So if you're willing to take the time to write actual notes of gratitude, that is one hell of a time. You better get on it, okay? Because time's going to fly. That's one suggestion. Another is be aware of your top 20, right? Who are those people that absolutely light up your soul and it's mutual? And please understand me, and this is my own ethos, it's not the people that you think if you press them hard enough they would refer you. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that you actually really, really enjoy, right? And they would refer you. It's both. So please make them top of mind. Give them that life affirming book that you've been meaning to share. Really, really be in community with the people who are most likely to grow your life and your business and you theirs. Okay. That's 20. Just like my friend who went after the 6 most connected people she knew in her database and got 6 referrals. Right.
Yep.
The other thing is just exactly what you said, Charlie. It's time to share the news about the market. We are all wondering, is it too late to buy? Are we at the top? Are the rates going to continue to drop? Should I wait till spring? Like whatever your questions are, someone needs to be informing these people. Somebody needs to be telling them their options. So figure out your 2 or 3 real estate sound bites and be in community and be in communication with people. Love your job enough to want to share your knowledge, right?
And that's what people want from us, by the way.
100%.
And showing them that we are the market expert is so important, right?
Yeah.
And doing a market video is great, but what do the stats mean? what do the stats mean? It is our job to interpret the stats,
Yep.
not to just say the stats,
Yep.
right? So inventory is up, but yet prices are up. What does that mean, right?
Yep.
What does it mean for a buyer, a seller, an investor? If you work with rentals, what's it mean for a renter,
Yep.
right? And the rates, and so anyway, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And then look at the holiday time. Can you fit it in? And I want to give everyone permission to just stop worrying about their career and go home to their family. If that's what you want to do, fine, okay? But pay attention. Say, I'm likely to have my attention elsewhere for easily 2 weeks. So I need to front load my pipeline now,
Yep.
or whatever it is.
Yep.
So I'm not asking you to be a workaholic and ignore your family.
Right.
Go home to your family. I was born on Christmas Day.
Oh,
I love
didn't know
it.
that.
I love it that no client is going to ask for a showing on my birthday.
Right.
It makes me so happy.
Right.
So I am definitely not cold calling people on December 25th. I am home with my family and I
Good.
love it. So understand me. I'm not asking you to get rid of your holidays, but you have an opportunity to look to do some really special pop buys potentially.
Yep.
And don't do like me. Don't buy 30 pumpkins and let them freeze in your driveway. Like, do what you can handle. Whether it's having a pie event in November. Pie events can be huge bang for the buck, by the way. If you don't know about pie events, reach out to Charlie. He'll tell you all about them. Huge, huge, huge return on investment are pie events. And then I have a friend every year who just picks a few clients. He goes to Costco and he gets these ginormous poinsettias. And he can only fit 3 in an SUV at a time.
Right.
Like, this is the most laborious process. But he cherry picks the clients that he wants to surprise with a large poinsettia. So don't overdo it like me with my frozen pumpkins. Take on something that you can handle. But don't underdo it either. Don't give up and don't say this is too hard or you have nothing to say or you have nothing to contribute. Oh, last one, and this one might be the best. Start doing beautiful bound home value reports.
Yes.
And please don't send them an email with a Zestimate. And I don't even mean a Zestimate. Like, I don't care what software you're using. I had a coaching client say, oh yeah, I do that all the time. And it's just this little email thing. That's not what I mean.
Right.
Every year, send them a beautiful bound overview of the neighborhood sales.
Yep. With
a report about their own property, and just wish them a happy new year.
Yep.
Right? It's an opportunity to be in front of them and to be their partner.
Totally. And we came up with a few months ago, we came up with a sexy name for those. And I don't remember what it was.
Ooh.
The annual home value report. We had a different name. Anyway,
I'll go back and look at my notes.
Maybe an audience member remembers. But yes, mail it. And my suggestion is to take that a little further, is to divide, let's say you have 120 past clients who own houses, right? Mm-hmm. So send out 10 a month. Send out 10 a month, so then you can call them and follow up. Because again, when you send something in the mail, it makes for a very easy conversation. Yep. Hey, did you get my package, right? We all are comfortable calling and saying that, right? Yeah. So I like RPR because it's just so easy, right? It's the property report. I mean, it takes 2 minutes to generate, you print it. Yeah, there's like 30 pages. But let me tell you something. The clients think we've slaved over that report. I've had people call coaching clients and say, I can't believe you took all the time that you did to come up with this great report. It took 3 minutes, and then you stuff an envelope, so it's another 2. Mm-hmm. Right? And it's a large, like manila envelope, right? It's not crammed in and folded. It's not, as Amy said, it is not an email. It's going to get lost or go into spam or just get deleted, because we all know we just scan. I mean, how many emails do you open up? 10%?
Right.
The rest are, deleted or go into spam or, whatever. Mm-hmm. Because we all get so much junk. I always feel like I'm constantly unsubscribing, and yet somebody's subscribing me, right? It's a constant battle.
Yeah.
So to recap, the Thanksgiving card idea is a good one. And there's still time, folks. Mm-hmm. 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Do 5 a day.
Yeah.
Do 5 a day, right? Go to Walmart, go to Sam's Club, go wherever and get your Thanksgiving cards in bulk now, and then write in them. You're not ordering them, like you said, with the pre-printed name and greeting and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Number 2 is being aware of your top 20. You enjoy them and they refer, and doing something nice for them. I like the book, an item of gratitude, something like that. Number 3 was market news, share it, be in community, in communication. Number 4, I think you had 4. I turned it into 5, sorry.
No,
Number 4,
I think it got long.
okay. Special pop buys, and then I added or client event.
Yes.
There's still time. There's still time to plan a client event.
Yep.
Poinsettias for your best clients. Pumpkins, if you're not doing them like this weekend, it's probably getting a little late for pumpkins, but
Sure.
the pie idea, we have agents that deliver pies to the clients. We have agents that do the reverse pop buy, and the pies or the clients come to the pie, right? And you can turn it into, and feel free to use our offices, our lobbies, our conference rooms. If you're an Allegiance agent, I don't care, right? Cider, music, some cookies, and then pies, right? There's still time to do all this stuff. And then the last one that we talked about was the home value reports, right? And if you want to do them, Happy New Year ones, great. I advocate for spread it out over the year.
Yes.
So do not get overwhelmed with sending so many that you run out of time to follow up, because the easy script of, hey, did you get my package? If you call them with that script 8 weeks after you sent it, it's going to get a little awkward, right? Because they're not going to remember. So 10 go out this week. I've got 10 conversations lined up for next week. I don't know who to call. I don't have enough people to call. You have that. And then we can talk in the future about, the letter that you and I have talked about before, which reminds our clients what we do and our specialties and all that. Mail that once a year, follow up. So if we're talking about having 4 conversations a year, right? We've got 2 letters that go out. That's 2 of the 4. We've got like a market update rate, something happened, something good, right? That's 3.
Yep.
So 3 of the 4 painful conversations, we have really good reasons to call somebody.
Yeah.
We just need that 4th, which for me, it's just checking in, right? But so we're 75% of the way already through our conversations for the next year. And how great is that?
Yeah.
So I thought this was really good. Kind of parting thoughts.
So I think parting thoughts for me are, I so get the fear of picking up the phone. And even though, Charlie, you've given really good ways of overcoming it, I just want to leave everybody who's like me. If you have broken rapport, or you feel you have, with letting the months or years go by, or you're not sure what to say, or you don't want to be pushy, I want to encourage everyone to call as many people as they humanly can and say, how are you? And nothing else. Nothing else. Break the fear barrier by saying, I can't believe, how about this? How about this for a script? I can't believe this much time has gone by. I couldn't let another day pass. How have you been?
There you go.
That's it. And if real estate never comes up, I don't care, because it's time to get back into rapport. And more than anything, it's time for us to just break the invisible barrier. It is that fear that something is wrong.
Yes, the invisible barrier that we see, that client doesn't see, doesn't know exists. Right. And I guarantee you that client is not going to say, well, where the hell have you been? They're going to be happy to hear from you. They're going to be happy to hear from you. So I think that's a great way to end the call.
Great.
To end the show, I should say, right? To end the call.
Awesome.
Always good to see you. Thanks for the
you
advice.
too.
Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
Have a
Thanks,
powerful
everybody.
October, everybody.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.